everyone, sorry I've been absent. Work has kind of got in the way a little bit. The house is kind of taking over a little bit, and you know, summer holidays, so I've been absent for a little while. Sorry. Hopefully I will get back on track and be posting on a regular basis, but there's no guarantees because you know what life is like. Anyway, I'm here to review an arc I got while I was at Yalc. Another video about that later on. This is The Beautiful by Rennie Adair. I have read her Flame in the Mist series, which I really enjoyed the first book, but I wasn't quite sure about the second book. I think I need to reread it again, actually, as a proper duology in one sitting. But I liked it. I liked the ideas and everything. And she was on one of the panels at Yalc. I came in about halfway through, so I kind of missed what they were talking about. But she was on about her new book about vampires in Los Angeles. And I thought, oh, I'll keep an eye out for that. That sounds really interesting. Then Hot Escape decided to do a buy 2 books and get a free arc. And they had Girls of Storm and Sorrow, which is the sequel to Girls of Paper and Fire, which everybody was raving about. And they all wanted a copy of this arc. Thankfully, they also had The Beautiful sat there waiting to be snapped up. So I picked up a copy of that. Sat down, read it 2 days on the beach. Perfect way to read, I tell you. Just sat on the beach for 2 days. And I have to say, I quite enjoyed it. I'm not quite sure what I was expecting from it. I mean, vampires, you tend to sort of go either Twilight or, you know, Interview with a Vampire kind of thing. And Rennie did say that she was very much influenced by Anne Rice and all those vampire books and that kind of level of vampire lore and mythology. So a lot of that actually came through within The Beautiful. And the fact it's set in Los Angeles around 1872, date precise there for you, means you've got the historical flavour to it, but obviously with the vampire element in there and the fact that not everybody is quite what you think they are or what they seem to be. And she plays really well with this idea of vampires being mysterious and all that, and your expectations as a reader knowing about vampires and all that, whereas our lead character in here doesn't really know much about them. And there's a lot of sort of twists and misleading going on, which I thought was very clever. I did like the setting. New Orleans is beautifully described in here, as is a lot of the characters. There's a huge supporting cast in this lot. Not everybody gets their big moment, but I felt like I knew everybody quite well. Knew where they stood. There's a fantastic few twists that come down the line in here, and there's some pretty damn gruesome murders in here as well. It's got pretty much everything. There's social commentary in here about women's place in society and expectations of how you should behave and how you should be. There's victim blaming in here, which I'm not going to spoil, but it's not what you think it is, so don't get all up in arms about that because it's handled really, really well. A lot of twists on prejudice and society's perception of people from different groups, and I really like the way that it's played within here, and that it's thrown in your face, and it's like, deal with this. And these characters are unapologetic for who they are, and that's lovely and refreshing to read. It's, yes, it looks quite a hefty book, but actually it's less than, okay, it's just over 400 pages. It is part of a new series, so there is obviously a conclusion at the end of this book, but it's not possibly the conclusion you were hoping for, which is very interesting. And I really liked it. It was really full of character and atmosphere and environment, and there was so much just to soak in this book. It's very enjoyable. There's lots of social commentary going on, but it doesn't intrude on the main plot. And yes, it is kind of a romance in here, which is a little bit laboured in parts, but I'm not that fussed. It's a vampire book. I know what to expect with a vampire book. You get the romance. But I really, really liked it, and it's so much fun and so easy to read. So this book actually comes out in October. 8th of October is the publication date I've got on the back. So I would recommend picking it up, actually, particularly if you're a fan of Interview with a Vampire, the Anne Rice vampire books, even Twilight to a little bit, but you're not going to get the teen angst that you get in Twilight, so better as far as I'm concerned. Give this one a go. I think you'd be very pleasantly surprised. And like I say, the fact that she's taken the vampire mythology back into its historical context is actually really nice to read. So many vampire books now are very contemporary based. I'm not interested in that. I like my vampires in top hats and tails. Sorry, I'm an old-fashioned kind of girl when it comes to vampires. But they're beautiful. Very enjoyable, very much for fans of vampire books, of romance books, of historical books. Very much a book about distorting society's perceptions of people. And I'm all for that. Highly enjoyable. Have you received an Arc of the Beautiful? If so, leave your thoughts down below, but try and be spoiler free. What was your favourite sort of aspect of it, or even character? Because there's plenty in there to love. Let me know down in the comments. You can find more social media ramblings from me in my description box down below. There will be more reviews on my book blog, because that was a lot easier to do on holiday than obviously doing the videoing. And there will be a wrap up of last month's reading also on there. I'm not going to do it on here because I'll be here forever. So if you want to know what I read last month and what I thought about stuff, go and check out my book blog, link down below. There is a link to a small booktuber in the description box as well. Go and show them some booktube love. As always, thank you very much for watching and happy reading. Bye.